Hey everybody, it's me. We're working with XOJO again. Let's see. So today is kind of a weird episode because we're going to kind of get in the meat and bones of what the first part of what this application is trying to do. So just for a quick review, this is what I call my show scheduler. I belong to an improv troupe in San Diego called National Comedy Theater, nationalcomedy.com. And so here's the thing. We have a cast of 20 people. Every Friday and Saturday night, um, we need to cast each show with 7 people. All right, so now we got to find out who's available on what night. They're very rarely do people, are they available every single show. We do 8 shows a month. Personally, I do 1 show a month, but other people do 3, 4. Some people do most 3 weekends. I used to do. Um, so the idea here is here's February shows. Here's what's available in February. Everyone in the troupe needs to log into this app, and they're going to select what shows they're available for. And so this is what we're going to do now. So we're gonna pretend we're a user, regular user. We have a list of shows, and we're going to indicate what shows we're available for. Okay, and to do this, as you can see, I have 2 list boxes here. This one is going to contain the shows that are available. Okay, so last time we created an app we created a page that would populate this table. Now when I log in as a player, I see, oh, these are the shows that I can be available for, and then so you double click the show, and then it'll appear in this one saying I'm available for February the 14th or whatever happens to be the Friday show. Okay, so let me show you that. This is one thing I like about the web apps that I was a little frustrated with the regular app, is that I can create a web page, and just recreate methods and stuff so it applies to that, and it's really easy just to copy. So for the last episode, we had this. We populated a list box with the available shows so that we could edit, add, delete. All right. And what's nice is that's essentially what we're doing over here, is we're just grabbing a list of those shows. And so I was able just to copy all this. Let's see. I go to available shows. Okay. When the list box opens, it will put the headers into the list box, and then it will run the method populate available. And then you can see I just basically copied it and then replaced. This used to say show list box. Now it says available show list box, and I had to just copy and paste. I run it. So let's run it and show you what's going on. Okay. All right. I run it, and then sorry, just monitoring a couple things. Okay, here we go. Okay. So I log in, and then I added the select show page or button. Comes over here, and you can see, look, I've got all the list of all my shows right there. Okay, and so the idea is what I want to do is I want to double click it. Let's say January. Well, we could take a future one, so February 10th. If I double click it, it will appear over here. Okay, how do we do that? Well, when you log in, just remember that XOJO captures your user ID, your player ID, from the player table. We are all players. Each person has an individual ID that is created when the thing is created. And so we're going to create, so I'm going to come over here to, let me pull up my SQL device here. And I have a table called player show select, and I'll just run the table. And it's going to create a, this is interesting. Okay. So it's going to create I should delete all these anyways, but so it will create this thing. When I double click it, it'll create a record that says, here's its primary key, player 1. I want to be in show ID 11, show ID 15, 14, and 12. Okay, and so we're going to create that record. So that's on the double click. So let's do that. Okay, so we're going to stop this. Okay, and then we're going to come over to availability, grab that, and we'll double click the list box, and it takes us here. So we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. We're just going to have to do it. Double click. Okay. Okay, now as you know, when you double click a row, there's a row tag on there, and that row tag is the show ID. So we're going to carry that over. Okay. So we need to set up the. So basically, all I need to do is when you double click it, you just need to know what the show ID is, and that's in the row tag. So let's start. So you got to create the SQL statement, and then we got to create the record set. So we're gonna dim SQL show select as string, dim rs show select as string. Okay. And then I guess we're creating the SQL statement. So I'm gonna just, I hate this because I always, so essentially we're doing so I thought I had this fully prepared. Yeah, I'll show you exactly what's happening here. This is the original app that I created. This is live, so I'm making myself available for February 25th, 2017. If you're in San Diego that day, you can come see me. But as I select a day, I can hit that button. Whoops, I got to log in again. Sorry, I've been logged out of this too long. So I'm over here. Let's say I'm available on for this Monday the 13th remote. So I can select it, and there it is. It shows up over here. And then the idea is I would double click it instead of hit select. Here I could double click it and remove it. Okay. I wonder if they've done any work on it. Nope, no work. Okay. All right. So that's essentially what we're copying here. Let me pull up my SQL notes. You would think by now I'd remember how to write SQL, but there's been, the last time I really wrote SQL was when I had my last job back in 2009. So I'm working off of 7 years of not having done this. So here we go. So I'm just going to write out the SQL statement. So insert into, and then the table name. Table name in this case is TBL player show select. Okay. Okay. I'm going to take all the columns. Okay. And in this case, whoops, don't want to do that. I want to do, okay. And you get the column names. So first column is player ID, which we're going to fill in with the session instance of the player ID. Show ID, which comes from the row tag of the row we click. And then create by. And I believe I have a create date in there, and it's supposed to fill that in with today's date automatically. So we'll go with that. Okay, so we want to create this. Oh, and then and then values, and then we'll move on from here. Values. Okay. So let's do this. So right now I'm going to start up here. SQL show select equals, and we'll bring that up. So everything is correct all the way up to this point here. How's that? Simple enough? Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is grab the player ID. So SQL show select equals SQL show select plus, and now I believe we're just going to grab it, put it in there. So what am I talking about? Okay, so session here, we go to properties, and it's that one right there, user player ID. So okay, so user, oh sorry, so I start with session dot user player ID. Okay, now we need the comment in there, plus, and because we're just inserting the number, we just need the comma. All right, and then from here we can actually just start copying and pasting. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay, so now I gotta, I think, so I'm trying to remember how to grab that row tag. Okay, so we're gonna come over here, clear form. Okay, so we're gonna grab this one. Okay. This is how we grab the show ID. In this case, I'm grabbing it from the directory. So if you go back to our directory code, you'll see what we did there. So let's go back over here. So this show ID let me make sure my session, I'm grabbing an integer, so I believe this is str. Okay, I gotta make sure that's a string. Okay, the show ID, copy it, the show ID equals me.rowtag.me. So, okay, and then this one, then we're coming over here, str, this show ID. Okay, and then I believe we're only doing 3 values. So this one's gonna be super simple. Another comma. Yeah, we're doing 3. It's kind of silly, but we want to know who created this record, and it's going to be the user. So we're being a little bit redundant. Sorry, but we are. It's actually this thing. We're putting this in again. Okay. And then finally, we close the parentheses. It's kind of interesting. We're not using any strings in this, or any text. It's just numbers. Okay. And then okay. And then we're going to run it. rs show select equals session dot mdb dot SQL select and then SQL show select, and then we're going to repopulate. So we're actually going to populate 2 things, but I'm going to have it repopulate the populate available anyways. We're going to have to create a new one to populate the first box. We'll get to that in a moment. So let's run it. Everything should work. Nope. Mismatch. Oh, yeah. Sorry. So this is not a string, it's a record set. Let's save. Okay, now we're going to run it. So far, so good. No errors. No obvious errors. Okay, we're going to have to go to the SQL table just to see if it worked, which is fine. Okay. Okay, let's go show select. Okay, so I want to make sure I take. Okay, so I'm just going to double click. I don't know what these are, but a new record should appear in my SQL table. Okay, so that worked. So let's come over to the SQL table, and then we're going to rerun it. There we go. Just create a new one. I selected show 1. There's my date stamp, and then my created by me. All right. So now what we have to do is we have to say, go to this table. Okay, so let's just sort of make it clear. Shows you selected. So this is going to populate all the shows that I've double clicked. Okay. So what it's going to do is it's going to come to this table. It's going to look for player ID with my number in it, 1. And then it's going to return all these shows. And then it's going to return it in this way. So there's a join now where I have to join this player show select table with the show table so I can get the details from it. So we're creating another method. Okay, so let's create another method. And this method is actually going to run at the beginning as well, but let's create the method first, make sure it works. So here, not directory, here we go. So now we're going to come to, we're going to create a new method. All right, so insert method, and we're going to call it selected because these are the shows you selected. So populate selected. Nice, huh? Alexa off. Okay. I don't know, I said something and it triggered Alexa and it's like driving me crazy. Okay, good. She didn't even. Oh, Alexa on. Oh, there you go. Sorry. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 6:01 p.m.
Okay, great. Thank you. Alexa, thank you.
No problem.
All right.
I'm happy to help.
Oh, you're so nice. Okay, so in this case, we have. Okay, we have a lot of similarities with the populate available. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste. Okay, and then I'm going to do it in here. I'm doing this mostly because a lot of the date conversions are here already. And then I just want to list. So what we're going to do is I'm gonna run this so that all the shows populate in the first table, and then we'll whittle it down from there, and I'll show you how to do that. So the table is selected shows list box. So I'm just gonna type that in. I do this so that I get the selected shows list box. Okay, so I'm gonna let's cut it. It's here, 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 and here, 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 here. Okay. Now I'm hoping that if I just run it, it'll work. Okay. So we'll see. Because I'm using the same variables, so I'm hoping that they don't collide with each other. If they do, I'll just rename them, but I'm kind of thinking it'll work. Okay, so far so good. So I couldn't do this in the other. Okay. So if I do that. Oh, gee. So it all. So it does that one, but it doesn't do this one. So maybe I have to. Why does it do that? What have I done? Populate selected. Okay, I wonder if. Okay, so I'm feeling like maybe. Okay. So I just call it show list 2. Let's see if that works. So I'm adding 2 to the string, 2 to the record set. Show list 2. That means I got to change all the show list 2. Oh no, I guess I don't have to. Show list 2. Okay, so I got to change all these. Oh, I see what I did. Okay, never mind. I don't have to do that. I got the code in here that says available show list box delete all rows. So it's actually deleting all the rows in the other list box without me knowing it. So let's do that. Oh, there we go. See, it pays to pay attention. Okay, we'll run it. Okay, there we go. All right. So the reason I copied it was because there's so much work, and as you know, there's so much work involved in getting the time, the day, the date, and the time that I just don't want to deal with that. So we are. That's why I copied it. So now we gotta. Okay, so what's gonna happen here is let's go back to it. So I need to get all the shows that are on this table, and not only that, this ID, the player show select ID, has to be the row tag in that table. Okay, so what we need to do is introduce in the populate selected. We're going to introduce the new table to the show table, which is right here, and we're going to do it right after I get back. So this will be part 2, or so we're ending part 1. We're going to start part 2.